Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG.bet.
Hello everybody and welcome to the StarLadder Minor Qualifier. We're here for the closed qualifier of North America to find out who's going to be progressing forward between eUnited and the Quest. As we look towards this matchup, it's no secret that eUnited are massively favored on an individual level. But our question is whether the Quest will be able to overthrow their opponents in a best-of-3 series. The veto's already gone down, as has the knife in this. As we run on into the pistol round and run quite literally, Grim and co are getting super aggressive on the Quest. They found themselves a man disadvantage to work with, but Spongy might catch a few off guard as Moose goes down. We're into a 3v3 in a situation right now for eUnited, which is looking good if they get that bomb down. And it's looking likely that they do, considering that Vanity's up above covering them. And so a retake has to go through for Quest. They've got a kit picked up and the utility already deployed as they barrel towards this bomb site. 1-for-1 trades begin. They now have the information on where the terrorists are as well, but Cooper hits one shot, swings out for another, and down goes Voltage. And despite a close pistol round, the 2v2 ends up in eUnited's favor without losing a single player in that situation. Nuke is the map pick of the Quest, and you could see it with the way that they got aggressive early on, pushing upon their opponents and attempting to, I suppose, catch them off guard early on. Coming in as the favorites, you probably expect your opponents to play that little bit more passive, which obviously wasn't the case right there. Now the Quest take out just the nades and the USPs. They're trying to get as much damage as they can done in this round. Really, it's about avoiding dying to SMGs, which so far isn't going too well with Grim falling. And finding as much damage towards the opponent's economy as you physically can. It's still a difficult round for eUnited in a way. I mean, as they push forward, they don't know what they're running into. You could find yourself against running around a corner up against 3-4 USPs, which, I mean, you know, they're not going to be that dangerous on their own, but when they're grouped up together, that's when they really get the damage done. But it's really kind of out there to assume that all too much goes towards the Quest in this round. And I really like this choice. So the Quest are a team that I'm not familiar with, but the fact that they're going straight in for the save towards CT spawn is really impressive early on. You get a lot of people, I've seen Reddit threads criticizing things like this, and thankfully those people are told that they're morons. The fact is, eUnited at this point have got 3 SMGs in play. The primary focus of, well, 2 now with the AK that was dropped, saved over. The primary focus of a round like that is to get as much money built up with those SMGs as possible. Even with 3 SMGs invested into, it's quite a hefty investment. They get no bonus, as they're not able to kill any of these 4 players. Now with the AKs, obviously, you get a base bonus, but with eUnited being on those SMGs, they would get a huge reward if they wiped all 5 players. And so mission number 1 that we talked about, avoid dying to SMGs, is complete while they still drop 1 weapon, which in the end turned out to be, I think, one of the Mac 10s. Not the biggest deal in the world to remove from play, but it does mean he has to reinvest into utility and armor, which is always an upside. This is the round that matters, though, as the Quest come in with their full buy. They've got a FAMAS out on Grim and the spam. Okay, 1-for-1 trade's not ideal in this situation. As they begin a push down towards the B bomb site, Snakes is left all alone, and he's going to have to slither up behind some opponents, catch them by surprise, and sting. See if he can seep some poison into their veins. Luckily, Voltage has been able to rotate down, as eUnited are actually taking this B-take very slowly. It's super telegraphed at the moment, and Quest know it. They have 3 players here as the push comes through, and Grim dying over towards Secret still doesn't make it any easier to get that bomb planted, considering Snakes is doing a lot of damage to Cooper, almost returning that man advantage immediately. Luckily, though, eUnited do decide to rotate back up, sensing that the heavy rotation had already come in. You're seeing great amounts of damage coming through there from Seed. Autodirector didn't want to show us. And so we're into a 2v3 nonetheless, as the trades went down. It was only Cooper that fell, and as Snakes dies trying to get a flank shot on Moose, had the surprise, the element of surprise, but not the kill. Voltage has to try pull a 1v3 off. Vanity gets aggressive, and before he can even react, his head is torn off. 3-0, a very good start for eUnited, winning out the bye round as well. Puts them in a very strong position to carry forward at least this fourth. And in fact, they call a timeout. Interesting spot to be playing tactically. They know the Quest could perhaps take out pistols and armor on the majority of players, and that is true. But I don't know. Hey, Strong Legs, it's Mitch, dude. What's up? I don't know why it says Hawk in the chat. It's a weird one. I've asked them to change it, but nobody listens to me around here. Quest is the ex-Dignitas roster, previously in Pro League, even though they went 0 for 18. Well, that's why I don't know them, I guess. 0-16, yeah. That makes more sense. But obviously the team's, my NA knowledge is lesser, I'll say, than the majority of, than my EU, that's for sure. It's funny, I don't recognize these guys either on Quest. I never watched the Dignitas games though, from what I remember, so at least they never stuck with me. Obviously pretty familiar with the guys over at eUnited. As we come into the round, as kind of predicted, you've got Quest sitting down with the majority of pistols. No armor to go through. They want to keep their money up, stacked as high as they can. eUnited going for the outside control, and a round like this is certainly where you want to take things. Make sure that they're not able to get too much ground, too many close range engagements. It's the least likely place to be stacked as well. There's also a minute delay on the stream, which is worth mentioning. So, apologies for the late responses. Yes, Le Mitch man. The man, the myth, the man, the Mitch, the legend. You like that one? I didn't come up with it. It's sad. Pistol doesn't catch them off guard as Snakes only lands a couple of shots on a Vanity, falls short of taking him down. It's still at least somewhat of an advantage with 35 seconds left and the bombs still needing to be planted, but they're being so cautious, checking every single angle as they go down. Ready for any spots they may be hiding behind. You're into a 5v3 in the Quest. I mean, look, the bomb still hasn't been planted, so they've got a decent opportunity to drop it and win the round. I'm surprised. I said eUnited were taking it slow towards outside. I like that. But I'm very surprised that they take it quite this slow. Eventually, though, the bomb does go down towards the site. Cooper will go for the bomb plant, covered by his teammates. There's no way that they can shut this down. And now it just falls down to playing exits. Seeing what they can get done as the T's leave the bomb site to try and save over their weapons. See if they can take one of these weapons out of their hands, but it doesn't look all too likely. Seeds left down in vent. He's got the CZ at least. If someone drops down here, he could shred them, but without anybody playing with an SMG, it's very unlikely that they decide to take their presence down there. At least he saves over the armor. That's the one thing that's a positive for him in that round. Now on 4-0, though, eUnited are having themselves a fantastic time on the terrorist side. And even if you just take a look at, in general, how their nuke goes, it's never too fantastical. But it's never terrible at the same time. I mean, they beat MIBR here. It's been kind of shaky form. Lost the likes of Fury and Nip. I mean, they're all justified losses. Super close series against Singularity and Cloud9 as well. Markey opens it up here as Seed goes down. Double op setup still in play, though. So that could at least pull things back over into their favor, but they need more than just the one kill. You got to remember, when the T side finds those even trades, they find themselves in a better position all in all. Also, taking a look at eUnited's past on this map. The struggles against Singularity. Well, the struggle against Singularity seems to be based on the super slow T side. You only got 3 rounds there. A shot by Voltage. He's able to bail out with the AWP, get to the stairs, and set up once again. Has he got an invisible weapon? Has it happened again? Oh, he has. We'll fix... Oh, no, he hasn't. That was weird. So into a 4v4. They close in the distance. They've pushed the op off the angle. That's a great nade, Cooper. That's an up. The round of applause for that one. Panic nade, if ever I've seen one, takes down his teammate. And that's... He didn't even move. He just looked at it. He's like, I'm dead. There's literally nowhere I can go. So, man advantage for Quest. We said one kill wouldn't be enough for them to get the advantage back, so they go ahead and force a team kill. Let's say it that way. Let's make Quest look good for it. A shot by Moose. Doesn't know there's a player under help. But Snakes reacts a little bit too slow to catch him out. What in the world is Auto Director doing here? Snakes is the one I'm interested in, but he's not able to get anything done. Jumping up on top of the railing, Moose spotted his feet and tapped them away. As you come into a 2v3 retake, eUnited have only lost one player to their opponent this round and one to themselves. Cooper, the man, the murderer, is in the corner. He's got a crossfire with food. But it doesn't look like they'll be seeing any reward for that setup as they come over towards the single door in the end. And deciding not to, deciding not to commit to this, definitely the right call. No time to go for it. You're not looking all too fly on utility either, certainly in terms of the util that they need, the likes of the smokes to smoke the bomb and get the defuse in. So 5-0 Quest with the weapons saved over. Go for them. Go for a full buy. They've got MP9s out. An MP9 out on Snakes. It's late. It's gonna happen. AUGs in the hands of Voltage and Seed. A full utility to work around as well. So all things considered, it could be a much worse round for them. Oh, excuse me. I was taking a drink of water. God damn it, Food. We can slow things down. He rushes in with the bomb by himself. That's now dropped out in the open on A. And Quest going to make the correct assumption and assume the push is going to come in here. Spams from Vanity, not being all too fruitful. Moose is pushed out in the open by the molly and dies to it, but at least finds himself one kill before he perishes. Up on top, Snakes has been heard, but nobody reacts. He's able to pick apart two of them with the MP9 in hand. Plenty of cash built up now. And Vanity can't quite push out to trade him. He's not happy about that, you can see. Looking at Food. Why'd you rush out, bro? It's a curious strategy. It's funneled them towards this site. Quest have stacked it up, knowing that they were going to push out here. Snakes gets eliminated and rotate back from Vanity, but he hasn't got the bomb. So Quest aren't going to push into a pursuit mode. They know they can just sit down and wait. The AUG should catch the angle here, and indeed it does, as Seed finds that frag to bring it 5-1. And a round goes to Quest on the back of questionable plays from eUnited, I think it's fair to say. So the one upside here for eUnited, they've already got 5 rounds on the board on the T side, where they tend to struggle a little bit. They've connected themselves a nice amount of cash just by not losing so many players in rounds where they're winning. So far, about 8% of their deaths have been to themselves, which is suboptimal, but you can forgive it. Long as it doesn't happen again. One thing that I've learned about team kills, they always come in 2, it seems. Whenever one goes down, I don't know if it's a revenge thing, but it seems that another follows. The push towards outside doesn't see too much reward as Vanity falls. Marky, I don't know how he's able to find that kill. Spongy completely whiffing those shots. Moving them into a 4 versus 4 with Seed spotted out on low HP. He's got the AK in hand to try and pull this off. Food, I mean, gets hit by the flashbang. He's just not having a good time. But even still, walks away with the kill thanks to Seed being so low. Comes in with 2v3 request. I've got very little to work with. No information to play. Oh, that's a nice kill by Grim. With that, at least, it kind of indicates presence towards the A site. The fact that he's rotated back through outside. They've seen nothing getting aggressive on ramp. Grim capitalizing on another by eliminating food leaves Cooper all alone with an AWP. He has to enter here with the P250, and he's spotted out and taken down. Grim walks away with 3 kills in that round, holding down aggressive and blue, and they push him one by one. Now, the first one is forgivable, but the next 2, I'm quite surprised Cooper was left in that 1v2. So 5-2. Quest are starting to build up rounds. Can't take that away from them. But eUnited now come in with another full buy. AKs and an SG. They've already made their way down secret, or down through vents rather. And so Voltage is eliminated straight away. I think Auto Director might have fallen asleep. There we go. Eventually it switches for us, but not showing any action. An amazing smoke on top of the Molotov. Thank you, Valve. As Moose catches Seed up close. What is Auto Director? How is it this bad? Seed capitalizes 1 onto Moose, leaving us into a 2 versus 1 on the back of Marky's kill. Or sorry, a 3 versus 1. I was starting with Quest and then I lost a player instantly, so big yikes. Sometimes we gotta take things in our own hand. And whilst I would swing with the observing myself, and I will on the next map, this is not the place to do it. Nuke is the most difficult map to observe. Well, I suppose Vertigo is... Well, I don't know. I think Vertigo is a lot easier than Nuke. Just because while there's still a lot of 3D, there's a lot less overlap, I feel. Or a lot less relevant overlap. So with the timeout coming through from the T side, eUnited evidently want to take this round seriously. They know it's their opportunity to break the economy of their opponents. With Spongy, saving over an AUG, everybody else, while Grim and Snakes can buy. Voltage on the verge, Seed obviously not going to be doing too fly. He could maybe take a scout out. Play towards outside. I'm curious as to what the call it was in the round where Food just barreled towards A. It's rare that we see something quite that. I mean, like, sure, if he just rushes out A, maybe he's trying to overwhelm them, but with the bomb, maybe it was just a bit of miscommunication. He didn't know he had it. You know how people get dropping bombs as they run out of spawn. Spongy picking up one, but the highlight of the round has got to be Voltage, which again Auto Director decides we don't need to see. Who likes Nova kills? Not us, that's for sure. As he picks up 2, eUnited called a pause, and it seems like whatever they've decided to go for has not quite gone their way. Magical timeout for eUnited has not worked out. As Xseed comes up close and takes Moose out of commission, it's all on to Cooper. 1v4. A really nice round connected by Quest. I mean, it's not often that you see double kills come. Look, shotguns? Sure, yeah. But nobody uses the Nova. Literally. Voltage is the first person since this whole update has gone live that I've seen use that Nova. Everybody likes the XM1014. The French player David P, I think, is largely to blame for the popularization of that weapon. He is actually described by the majority of us as the XM1014 or the XM main, as it's pretty much all he uses. There's a comment earlier on from Zesht when we were doing the Sprout game that he actually has a higher rate of usage for the XM and indeed kills for the XM than he does for the AWP, which is pretty hilarious. And if you think about it, this is just another thing I compliment David P a lot, but I just love that change of playstyle. Everybody goes with AUGs and M4s, but if you're locking down close range on a site, it can be really, really effective. And so the thing is, when you take a look at how he plays, he's got so much cash left over in the bank that he can continuously drop weapons towards his teammates. So it's a viable buy in the sense that it works from a round-to-round tactical perspective of how efficient it can be at finding kills and opening rounds up when they push. But also, it works really well because you can consistently drop over weapons and you cost less. So even if he was less effective, which I really don't think he is statistically, he's actually still cost efficient, shall we say. Pushing towards ramp. Ooh, Snakes doesn't land the kill, but he has a molly. Luckily, that'll stop them pushing down all too quickly and allows him to bank off towards the bomb side and post up on an angle. You're left into this 5v5 with Cooper, sneaky, beaky-like, catching Spongy off guard and covering his teammates as they push forward, but they don't know about Snakes, and he picks up 2. I didn't even spot that he was going to take that headshot onto Markey. It's into 3v3, a position now for Quest that's definitely recoverable. But still, United come in with favor. That smoke's worked out really well for them. They know there's... Oh, Moose going down the steps. They know there's at least one... He's getting naded to high heaven. What? Did that do 1 damage to him? Hold on. I just want to... Where did it land? One of them landed there. Is it like the exact same spot? I don't know. Nades are really weird, especially on stairs. Like, if there's a lip anywhere near you, it can be so unusual. Like, you throw it, and it lands on one step, you lose 40, 50 HP. It lands on a different step that's still pretty damn close to you, you lose 2 HP. It's like, what? Or 0. I don't know. Grenades are so inconsistent in this game. It's really weird. I feel like they could benefit from, like, eliminating, like, having nade-specific hitboxes, or hitboxes that specifically delete the hitbox for a grenade. So, for example, if a player's on the stairs, they're not going to use, like, they're never using the stairs, like, the individual steps for cover. So, if it lands anywhere on the stairs, it should still deal equal damage to the distance away it is, regardless of the surface in between them. But if it lands... For example, on the other side of a small wall, then yes, they can use that for cover. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they should go through each map and decide, can you use this for cover? Yes. Can you use this? Yes. Not this one, though. Ooh, well, it's a timeout. We'll just fly. If you're standing here, if a nade comes in and it lands there, and you stand here, that's not cover. You die. We should not be discouraging unrealistic grenade physics. Alright, that's all I'm saying. It's not that big a deal though, really. They cost so little. It would just be nice. So tech issues, obviously the reason for that. Pause the Lele. But as it comes away, I'm sure teams have also used it for a little bit of a tactical conversation. Obviously, that's not allowed, so they wouldn't do it, but, you know, they probably did. And 7-3, eUnited are not the ones that need to be talking about tactics right now. Really, it's all on Quest. I mean, obviously, eUnited do need to be talking about them. I don't want to imply that it's irrelevant. It's obviously very important to discuss tactics while you're ahead, so you can gain an even greater lead and win the game. You don't want to take it for granted. But for Quest, they need to close this out. 8-7 is a pretty bad half for them on the CT side, and at this point it's looking unlikely to even be that good, as they have 4 rounds left to go, and eUnited at this point have looked dominant in a lot of these buy rounds. I mean, they've been upset by some crazy aggression from Quest. We saw it from the pistol round. They set the tone on what they were going to be going for. As they close towards outside, eUnited walk on down the stairs and take secret control. But not fully. Spongie's here to contest it, rotating in with a little bit of utility to slow them down. 50 seconds on the clock. It's definitely valuable to keep them at bay for as long as you can. Caught towards the single door, though. Cooper actually does take quite a bit of damage. As does Marky. They know there's a player towards CT. Xseed, but Spongie's going to be taken down. We saw him earlier on defending towards Secret. As Xseed falls as well, it's a 5v3. No control of Secret going to be granted towards their opponents. Well, maybe it will actually. Marky has to cross over that smoke. And he's caught out, taken down by Snakes. As he attempts to regroup with his teammates, Grim was coming over as well to help out. Now they're going to push towards the bomb site. Not a whole lot of time left. The bomb will be planted. Voltage can't do anything about this. He's heard scoping in, and Cooper swings out. Brave to swing into an op like that, but it works out for him as his crosshair is perfectly placed on the head. It's now 8-3, and again, Quest find themselves saving over these weapons as a 2v4 time limited with, again, very little utility is unlikely to go their way. This match is not looking fantastic for them to start off. 1-for-1 trades, and the fact that they're having such a hard time on the CT side of their map pick is a little bit worrying. Obviously with the eUnited coming in as favorites now, they've built up quite a lot of momentum, and I think the real problem is, although with underdogs you have no pressure, the fact that they're so close to connecting their spot in the minor is really going to hurt them. I feel like it will start to weigh in heavy. They know that if they lose their map pick, they're obviously going to be moving over to a little bit more of a comfort ground for eUnited. The next map up, of course, being Dust 2. But the real problem here, like, so the Quest play Nuke a lot. They're playing up against mainly American teams. But in terms of high-level American teams, there's not really anybody there. For quite a while, anyways. You got Furia, 16-13. Actually, quite a close game on Nuke. That was their first game, by the looks of things. But the majority of their wins are against weaker teams, and that's certainly going to be telling as they come in against eUnited. Early 1-for-1s, and Voltage connects another. Cooper's head's taken down. Able to retreat out of there without dying, and that's a nice advantage for Quest to have. But it doesn't last too long, as we've seen before. Molotov towards the back. Moose, is he going to check close right? Yes, he is. Spots at the leg of Spongy and eliminates him. And I was worried there, because of that molly going down and already clearing a player that was close, that they would just decide to leave it alone. Nade goes up. No damage. No damage whatsoever. As Xseed manages to avoid the nades now. A 2v3 is a recoverable spot. The AWP coming up behind could cause a lot of damage as well. But Voltage is not aggressing. He's playing this passive, which means most likely Xseed will be cut off by Moose. Yes, he will indeed. Leaving Voltage to save the op with 2 kills on the board. And the knowledge that he was towards ramp, they obviously assume that he'll be saving on B as nobody's walked back up on outside. They can definitely afford to hunt him down. Their economy isn't looking terrible for eUnited. Moving towards the ramp, Voltage is ready to catch one off. Oh, only the leg hit. He needs to bail out of there, but he's not even able to. Food on 7 HP catches him back on the cross. And now 9-3. eUnited dominating on their terrorist side. I mean, it's expected as well, and this is the kind of sad thing. We haven't seen Quest getting any rounds for free. And I'm almost upset for them, because it would look so much better if they'd won that pistol. They would be on 6 rounds most likely. Obviously, things would play out a little bit differently in the rounds that they actually won, in terms of the economy eUnited had to work with. But they definitely could have found themselves a much stronger start. But eUnited gaining every advantage as we move on into round number 13. Cooper's Molotov Grim alive. And the pistols are not holding up well. Quest making very admirable decisions as well to wait for future rounds. Not many teams, when 9-3 down, will essentially offer their opponents a free round victory. 'Tis rare for sure, so it is. So, like I was saying, Quest going on to the map pick of eUnited next is a more concerning situation. It's a map that if we're seeing them dominate the individual battles on this map, you assume that that's going to be the case in the next, but as Xseed shows us, they can definitely win some individual duels of their own. Quest trading back into a 2v4 as Food lands some damage, but does receive 50 HP less for it. It's quite winnable for Quest at this point. Vanity catches Grim off. Even still, though, about 50 dealt to him as well, making it much easier for these final two players. Unfortunately, Snacks has got that AWP, so he won't be able to capitalize on the low HP, but they dropped the bomb. Food's down, and Spongy has control. Vanity has got to pull this off, coming up behind him, but Spongy's going to hear that, of course. Now knowing exactly where he is just trained on the angle with the AUG, and all he has to do is wait. Oh, lands that spam. Vanity on 6 HP assumed that he was spotted, so he spammed back through the smoke. Doesn't find anything, waiting for aggression to come through. 38 seconds, they have no reason to peek him. But they are peeking him. He's watching this, waiting for an opportunity. Molotov goes through, closes the distance, catches off the AWP, takes the kill! But Spongy with a third on the trade on his teammate. Boy, oh boy, did that come close. The Quest find a reward for waiting so long. And now sitting on a 10-4 scoreline. This is where we could definitely see a fifth go their way, a pistol round, and some form of a recovery. But really, at the moment, I don't fully believe in the victory for Quest. Even with losing so many players in the last round, they've had to resort to MP9s and no utility on Xseed. And no head on Voltage, as he just gets domed straight away. Look at the aggression that's come down, though. Xseed is already up behind them, spotting out nobody on outside. Now assumes that they've already gained control there, but he's more worried about flanking out the ramp players. All that Snakes has to do, he's got a Molotov. He can just delay them pushing forward. Deploying this Molotov early, though, should give them an idea that something is up. Something's not right here. But Food's not checking the right angle. He's going to be taken down. The right angle, quite literally. Bomb dropped and they know exactly where it is. He waits for someone to re-aggress from outside and take him down, but it's not happening just yet. Going up towards the roof. I like this from Xseed. Do they expect him to come down the ladder? Well, I highly doubt it. He needs to drop, though, and go straight for a kill, or they'll be able to catch him off guard. He's looking for any feed. I want to see Moose's perspective here. He's not actually watching this, but spots him jumping down. Nice kill by Xseed, a second on the board. Bomb is being retrieved, though, and eUnited are on their way to B. Meaning that in this 2v2, the bomb plant should go down for them. And as they come in for the retake, walking into a crossfire, obviously they go for it, but it's only Grim left alive. 1 versus 2, caught out by Vanity up above, and that's going to be the end of the round. And the end of the half, 11-4. Quite a dominant terrorist side, all things considered, for eUnited. This is the map pick of their opponents, and they're certainly not looking all too bad. Coming into the pistol. I'm excited to see how eUnited approach this. They've already disbanded most of their utility, looking at a CZ on Vanity with no armor, and Cooper as well taking out a kit. Quest fully aggressed towards outside, again grouping up and just looking for this push towards Heaven. They've already obtained that control. This is a push I actually haven't seen on Nuke before. Full outside control. They go over Mushroom, over or outside rather. On top of the roof on outside. and make it all the way to hell. Bomb planted now in a 5v5. The first time I've seen that on Nuke. Kills coming down straight away, but the T-side are behind despite the damage done. The Glock up close of Snakes. What a shot as he turns around and deletes Marky. Open task manager and just shut him down. It's 5-11. Quest at least find that pistol. Now the chance to pull back a couple of rounds in a row. At least one to start with. Getting some more afterwards will be difficult, but possible nonetheless. As we see a force spike coming through from eUnited. They've got themselves 2 scouts, a UMP, and 2 pistols. The Deegan, the CZ making an appearance. Quest at this point don't have a hefty advantage. The fact that they've bought up 3 SMGs does put them in a bit of a compromised spot. I do like this from... I like the general approach from Quest in most of these rounds. They're very innovative. I do feel like they need a little bit more on the individual level. That's where eUnited are just outclassing them. But there you go, straight down towards B again. Not even suspected as Vanity starts to back on off. Bomb goes down. Now they know it's going to be a B hit. Or that it is a B hit. Has been a B hit even. Because it's over. Spongy opens up the round. Another 5v5 bomb plant. And another trade for eUnited. A position now, though, that they don't feel like going for it in. And you can see why. They have 2 scouts to play with, but Vanity was stuck and got eliminated towards the ramp, leaving a 3v4 save to come through. eUnited carrying forward both scouts into the next round as they don't have the money to reinvest, so these weapons will probably be the best that they have to work with. So at the moment, it looks like eUnited are 11. Yeah, they've got 11 opening duels in their favor, with 6 going to Quest. And they're very tight-knit as well. 3 for 1 or 2 for 1 in opening duels on 4 of their players. Generally, you expect to see a team challenged more specifically towards one side, especially as they just play their terrorist side. It tends to be sort of the same player entering a lot of the time, but eUnited have shown great versatility. And it plays into the fact that Quest have been playing this more aggressive style, but eUnited shutting it down on a consistent basis, waiting for that aggression to come through. This time on the T side, you expect to see an aggressive style because, well, you're the attackers, so it's nothing too surprising. They do move into this round still with 2 SMGs, which will be easily able to capitalize on kills close range against Moose, Vanity, Cooper, and Food, all of which have avoided that Kevlar. Marky is the only one with it, and having carried forward these 2 scouts from the previous round, they've already gotten off to a good start, as voltage goes down to just 31 HP. Tagged by the Scoot early on, Quest decide not to aggress towards outside. They probably assume that there is only the 1 scout in play. They didn't spot it earlier on. So they have no idea. Marky comes through with 1-2, but no third. As we eventually go into a 4v3. Bomb going to be picked up as Xseed goes in for the plant. eUnited still have those 2 scouts in play to try and catch themselves some kills, but that nade is going to be devastating. Not as bad as it could have been, considering the lack of armor on all the remaining players. With Marky on a double, he's done the job as the armor player that eUnited are obviously going to go for this. They can buy in the next round, so why not? The kills start to come through for the T side, and they don't stop a rolling. Although Cooper finds one, the thing is, Vanity's in a 1v2 with such low HP, and the bomb planted in the open. He's picked up a scout, but it should be pretty useless. 3 bullets left. Tries to get him interested in peeking, but it's not going to happen quite as he had hoped. As Grim eventually swings with the MAC-10, takes him down 11-7. eUnited certainly getting closed in on, but eventually they get that full buyout, and this is where they should look a lot more dominant. So the full buy does see a feature coming out of an AWP. You've got the AUGs and the M4 to work with as well. Surprised to see such a hefty recovery from Quest on the T side coming into that previous round, but even though they walked away with that, this is their true test, like we said. The full buy from eUnited. Up close and personal, Vanity has been spotted out. Grim knows there's one in secret, but look at the amount of damage he takes. It's an easy sweep. Up as the turn from Marky. He takes a second with him. He eventually falls inside that smoke as he was so low in HP, although the headshot connected doesn't discriminate whether you're low or not. Snake's contemplating backing out towards Squeaky. Hopefully he doesn't go down vents. Cooper is posted up and waiting to hit that no-scope onto him. He's taking his time. Cooper's not getting spooked just yet, though. Doesn't look like he'll be getting the opportunity to find the kill, but Moose may just yet. The Snakes pushes out. Watching the angle, Moose shuts him down. A quick headshot followed by a body as it's 12-7 now. eUnited walk away with a 5-round lead, and with winning that round, the problem for them develops. They didn't shut Quest too heavily, so the full buy could come through. And indeed it does. Grim buying himself an AK and dropping one to Snakes. Seed takes out one of his own. And it's only going to be Voltage that has low investment. Mac 10 armor and utility coming into play. eUnited do have the advantage in this sense with the op and the defensive positions. Even with Food having himself an SMG to play with. If Quest find this though, they close that gap in. They bring it 12-9. And a great recovery would ensue. But again, I feel like I've seen very little of the terrorist side. Although they've obviously played, what, 4 rounds now? There was the pistol, the 4 spy with the save coming over straight away. I mean, 2 5v5 bomb plants in a row. Situations that don't seem replicable. Nades, smokes, and flashbangs towards the A-bomb side as the opening kill goes the way of Voltage, and XC takes one down as well. With Marky falling towards the back of the bomb site, eUnited already have to take into consideration whether they want to go for this or not, and it looks like straight away they decide against it. We've seen 5v5 bomb plants, and now we see a fight start, and 5 seconds later the round is over with only 2 kills on the board. Definitely going to be a slow one. Moose is saving by himself, but nobody wants to aggress down to the B side, especially not knowing that they're saving. They could be holding any angles. They could be grouped up together. You want to make sure you exit as a unit. Covering all available angles as they did. Well played by Quest. To recover this even further, I mean, those opening kills towards A were unwarranted. As with a 4-round gap, they're behind, but they're certainly building up a little bit of momentum for themselves. With a 4-round gap, a pause comes through from Quest. Knowing that a few weapons were saved over by eUnited, they want to make sure that they're able to get themselves out the best of investments. And the best of approaches, really. That's the issue for them. Because eUnited, at this point, going in for a force buy, again, keep their money down super low. So if Quest win this round and manage to eliminate all of their opponents, eUnited will once again be forced down to taking an eco, and Quest would reach double digits, at that point making it very doable. Even though there would still be favor towards eUnited, the fact is, if you're dismantling your opponent's defense, and you start to make them feel like you've got them figured out, well, that's where you could see a big upheaval of performance. Combining that with the fact that this is Quest's map pick and their most played map, they're obviously going to have a good terrorist side. Quest take early control towards outside, but Marky in here with the XM holding on door. Catches one. Cooper misses the shot. He's in a lot of danger. He needs support to come through, but no one's there to assist him. Bails out towards the CT spawn. Even if they hunt him down, they waste a lot of time doing so, so just go straight towards the bomb site. Grim takes Vanity in the head. 1 HP left. Has to be careful dropping down. As the bomb plant comes through, they have no idea that Marky is still here. But they suspect it. Dropping the Molotov in. It doesn't do a whole lot for him. Long range against Grim. He'll find an easy kill. And indeed he does. Takes Grim out of it. Gonna check close left. You can kind of see it in him. And there's the headshot. As Xseed goes down. Can he get another? No, he can't. As Snakes comes through. Doesn't get anything done. Bungie's the one finding both kills. Leaving it into a 2v2 with Snakes on low HP. Flash banged. And taken down. What a shot by Cooper that must have been. Quite sad we didn't get to see it. The defuse coming through with about 2 seconds or so to spare. Didn't say, but I'm guessing. We're talking ballpark figures. And 13-8, another buy round going to eUnited. Again, this is something that is expected in general, that they're going to walk away with a victory, but Quest have managed to build up a couple of rounds now, build up some momentum, so their economy is favorable for them to at least walk away with a full buy here and contest eUnited before it's too late. Again, though, the issue with this situation is that a loss for Quest in this round pretty much grants eUnited 15 rounds, and it starts out with Marky finding an opening. Auto-director! Auto-director, what are you doing? What are you doing? Vanity's just found 3 kills off stream and a 4th. I'm actually so upset we didn't get to see that. Any other map but Nuke, please. Just don't leave me alone on Nuke. I'm sorry. Fantastic round from Vanity nonetheless. That was a full buy from Quest, and he shut it down all by himself. Bringing him back up to an even performance. I mean, he wasn't doing fantastic earlier on, but being able to build up that little bit of momentum in the previous round to throw himself ahead. He's also been the player that's picked off the most early on the terror side and CT. 1 for 3 on opening duels. But he also has the most flashbang assists, so you can at least give him something there. Marky at the moment is actually 5 for 1. Something we normally see from Oppers, but that's in opening duels again. Not necessarily on a map like Nuke. We do see a lot of Oppers having much quieter performances here. With now 14-8 on the scoreboard, Quest are pulling themselves out just a few upgraded weapons. Swing out from Moose. Doesn't connect much. Molotov down to stop them pushing. He's just trapped here. He knows his players up above. Deagle spam. It's actually successful for Grim. That took me about a good 2 minutes to process what had just happened. I thought they traded, and then I went, no, you can't trade. Did they trade? Then looked at the kill feed and saw that Cooper, because I saw no one else was in position to take him down. So Grim found the kill, then Cooper instantly refragged with the AWP. Quest going to attempt to seize the A-bomb side by the looks of things, or at least by the looks of Voltage, as he goes to peek out with the Deagle Food Spots players on ramp. They've got all the information now. Nice deep nade goes through. Snakes doesn't take too much damage from it, though. Again, CSGO nades. Go to csgonades.com for my complete critique on why CSGO nades are bad. Molotov goes down towards the hut. Cooper's trying to get a jumping no scope. It's not quite happening today, Cooper. I'm sorry, dude. You've tried your best. They're spamming away. Oh, they're pushing into these pistols, though. That's... eUnited are playing a bit risky. Food finds the final 2 kills, but you see these guys just running at them? It was like the charge the barbarians would make against the Romans. The Romans would just put their shields up, barbarians run at them, and they'd just stab through with their spears, hold their ground, and consistently try to find frags, so to speak. I don't think they called them frags at the time. I think they called them kills or multi-kills, maybe? I wonder if multi-kills was ever a word before gaming. Yo, Claudius, how many multi-kills did you get out there in West Italy? I don't know. I don't think there was ever a big fight in West Italy. Maybe there was. But the Roman time, though. I know what I'm talking about right now. It's late night. We're descending into madness. This happens. Get used to it. Moose is shredding no one outside. Decent damage done to Grim, who's now 1 HP yet again. Not been having a great time. That spam's going to finish him off. And Cooper through the Vanity through the smoke, and the wall takes voltage. Cooper found one of the other kills as well. Just spamming on through. All 3 players get deleted, and that pretty much serves as an analogy for how Quest seemed to get on here. A decent start on the terrorist side by winning the pistol. The first buy that they won as well was impressive, but unfortunately not able to repeat the results. And now we're going to have to take a quick break before we go on to map number 2, Dust Numero Dos, coming up in just a couple minutes.
Charge up your game with excitement. Highest odds on the market. Coverage of all live and pre-match events. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG.bet.